Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we had the latest on a deadly shooting in Floyd County, and the Supreme Court sides with West Virginia in a case against the EPA.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's just before 5 o'clock on this Friday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. Brandon, it's all calm weather-wise outside this morning, or at least last time I remember going outside.
Exactly. And we're not going to take too much of your time this morning because we've got a lot of news to get to today, but we'll take a quick look at the satellite and radar, and you'll see that it's still clear this morning. Couple of sprinkles yesterday, but overall not too bad of a day. There is more rain coming, though. We're watching that back out toward Kansas City and Omaha this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, from 62 in Clintwood to 75 and actually 76 in Prestonsburg up there in Floyd County this morning. So we're continuing to watch that. Much warmer air there across the region this morning from this time yesterday. Wise exactly where they were yesterday morning, but everybody else anywhere between 5 and 15 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. Your breakfast forecast, again, should be a mix of sun and clouds, but some rain chances will be around as we head deeper into the day. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, we are following up on last night's barricade situation in Floyd County, which brought multiple agencies to the Allen community for several hours, sending several people to the hospital with injuries and killing at least one person. WYMT's Buddy Forbes.
A routine evening that took a quick turn.
We do have injuries.
Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt says officers were serving a court-issued warrant in the Allen community Thursday when the situation went dark.
Kentucky State Police Post 9 in Pikeville received a call for an officer insist for a shots fired complaint. They responded out here. That situation turned into an active shooter.
Departments poured in from across the region to assist in an hours-long barricade situation, while officers worked to de-escalate and clear the scene, making an arrest around 10 p.m.
The shooter has been taken into custody, so there is no threat to the public safety. At this time, it's still an ongoing incident.
Sheriff Hunt confirmed several officer injuries, with his department later calling it a deadly shooting. However, investigators are still working the case and say details are limited.
It's a very dynamic scene, a lot of stuff to cipher through and go through before we have any more information.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says the agency is working to lay out all of the facts.
Kentucky State Police Critical Incident Response Team will be leading the investigation along with Post 13 personnel.
As the investigation continues. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
As of now, the names of the shooter or any of the people injured have not been released. Last night, Trooper Gayhart said he expects to have more information sometime today. We will continue to follow this story and share updates as they become available. Governor Andy Beshear made a post on Facebook last night asking everyone to join him and his wife, Brittany, in prayer for those affected by the shooting. And of course, we're bringing you the latest on air and online as we learn more. In a decision that could affect power plants here in the region, the Supreme Court ruled against the EPA. In a 6-3 vote, the court sided with the state of West Virginia in the case against the EPA. Many Kentucky Republican lawmakers supported the ruling, but one Supreme Court justice said it strips the EPA of the power to respond to climate change. Here's what Senator Mitch McConnell had to say.
I'm not an expert on the coal market. I do know that there's been a temporary pickup in the coal market because of the need in Europe for more coal as they've moved away from their totally green policies, which made them too dependent on the Russians.
AEP officials said, quote, the Supreme Court's decision will not impact our continued progress on transitioning to clean energy and reaching net zero emissions by 2050, end quote. Kentucky Power does not own coal plants in the Commonwealth. Today, a major piece of legislation will change one of Kentucky's signature industries. The Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act seeks to standardize racing rules across the country. Right now, each state makes its own decisions. The sport has been under intense scrutiny in recent years because of horse deaths and doping controversies.
And I think we have an obligation to the public and to the generations where our social license to operate is sometimes questioned, to show that we are doing our best, we are listening, and at the center of everything we do is the welfare of the horse.
A new board will oversee the new standardized rules. COVID-19 boosters are expected to have an updated policy in the near future. The FDA's most recent updates advise the elderly and the immunocompromised to get a second booster shot. Dr. Shelley Stanko from St. Joseph Health in London says that staying up to date with booster recommendations is essential in fighting off COVID.
There was a recommendation for the first booster beginning probably last fall. And so a lot of healthcare workers got that then and then, rolled out to the general public. The most current recommendation has been for a second booster for persons who are over 50 and or people with immunocompromising conditions.
A new booster is expected to arrive sometime this fall. WYMT is partnering with the Kentucky Blood Center once again this year for a summer blood drive. Donors can give blood in the Bloodmobile outside of our station today from 3 to 7 p.m. Donors will be entered to win a new 2022 Toyota RAV4 and an all-inclusive Jamaican vacation for two. If you are coming to donate, please bring your ID with you. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, a Chinese Mars probe gives us some new images all the way from the red planet.
Scattered storms will roll into the mountains later today, and they will stick around for the holiday weekend. I'll track them for you in about 3 minutes.